the brilliant Fat Swallow, Blue Turning Grey Over You, chosen by my guest this evening, Eric Clapton, and we're also playing things from Clapton, which is Eric's new record. We will be back after these lovely Christmas messages from our sponsor.
How would you describe them? Rock legends?
When they say there were 5 members of Led Zeppelin, it was true at that time.
Rock survivors?
Anything I've done up the top end is sheer miracle, really, to me.
Whichever accolade, they're 2 extraordinary men. And this Christmas, they're both on BBC Radio 2. On Monday, join me in conversation with Robert Plant.
If any of my children are listening, please ignore what I was going to say now.
Then the next day, my exclusive chat with Keith Richards.
Johnny Depp's a hard-working man. Where he finds the time to do portraits of me, I don't know.
When Bob Harris met Robert Plant, Monday from 10, and Paul Sexton's At Home with Keith Richards, Tuesday from 10 on 88 to 91 FM, BBC Radio 2.
Thank you very much and welcome back. I hope you're having a lovely Christmas wherever you are, in your shed, in your bed, in your bath, listening to this in your car, around the Christmas tree. Marvellous. If you've just joined us, I'm delighted because we have Eric Clapton here as our guest this evening. Eric, it's great to have you here. We're going to play... well, let's play something that is one of the things that is you've covered on the record, but the original version of something. What should we pull out?
Well, the track is a song called "That's No Way to Get Along" by a guy called Robert Wilkins. Who I've always loved this song, and it's just one of those really catchy kind of old blues that I thought I'd love one day. I used to play this, in fact, to Doyle Brownhall and Derek Trucks to say, how would you do this? You know, because I've always been intrigued or attracted to the notion of taking these things and putting them into a modern context and see how you could do it and yet still preserve the integrity of the song, you know.
Yeah.
And when we'll play this thing in a second, you'll see how it suggests itself, but at the same time, when you come to do it, it's quite difficult to do without losing the original, you know.
When did you hear the original of Robert Wilkins? When did you get it?
Oh, I think it was when I was 16, you know, along with this, because we used to, one of the things about Cream was that I used to enjoy was that they were ready for that, they were up for that kind of thing. We did a lot of Skip James songs and, you know, Howlin' Wolf songs and Willie Dixon songs, and trying to put old country blues into a modern setting is still, I think, a really challenging and interesting thing to do.
Well, let's have a listen to Robert Wilkins.
There's no way for me
to Get Along, Robert Wilkins, which is one of the songs that Eric Clapton's covered on his new record. I'm not going to play the original. If listeners want to have that, they have to go and find their own copy and play. I mean, I'm not going to play your cover. No. They'll have to go out and get their own ones. Instead, I'd like to play another track off of the record. Everything Will Be Alright. Where did this come from?
The long story of this is that the original idea for this album, in fact, was to be another duet album with me and JJ Cale. And I had called him sometime in 2008, said, "Do you want to do this?" And he said yes. And I said, "Well, let's do it like, you know, in your house, just on home recording equipment, and do it like the way you would normally do a record." And he said, "Okay, but you write the songs instead of me writing all the songs," which because that's what happened last time. So I said, "Sure, no problem." And of course, I couldn't write anything. I mean, I got a real writer's block, and all I could do was write little riffs and things. You know, he was very dismissive of that. Finally, when we got closer to the time, I said, "Well, Jay, are you all right still?" He said, "Well, I don't want to do it in my house. We'll go to a studio." And so it was kind of changing and evolving all the time. And because I couldn't write anything, I was dreaming up things that I wanted him to do, you know, and it was like How Deep Is the Ocean and these ballads. I like the idea of JJ singing Autumn Leaves, you know, because we're both getting old, we're old guys really doing these kind of things, and I thought it might be interesting to see whether he would consider it, and he did, you know, thought it was a good idea. But so getting to the crux of it, after the first week of recording, when we had cut No Way to Get Along, for instance, and a couple of other things, he got sick, you know, and he had to go home, and suddenly I was left holding the baby, and you know, that's when this whole concept of, well, what should we do now? And I just thought, well, we do that, and we do that. And these covers were coming into my head, songs like the Fat Swallow songs that had been in my life for all of my life, and I'd never really had an opportunity to record them. And of course, we had to. I really wanted the album still to have some essence of JJ in it, because it was part of the original concept. So we chose that song of his to do, because it was one of the lesser known songs, and I liked that approach too.
Let's hear Everything Will Be Alright.
Everything will be alright. Ain't no shame in trying.